Well, Nepal continues to grapple with the earthquake aftershocks. Last night, rescue operations suffered a massive setback due to sudden rains. Fresh tremors were reported from Kathmandu at around 11:30 p.m. and the official death toll now stands at nearly 3,200. More than 6,000 are injured. Following the aftershocks, Kathmandu's Tribhuvan airport was shut down for over 2 hours and the air traffic control personnel were evacuated to avoid any untoward incident. A 6.7 magnitude aftershock was followed by another one of 5.3. Close to 50 aftershocks have hit Nepal since Saturday's devastating 7.9 magnitude earthquake. There is still no electricity, water and telecommunication in several parts of the country, but the larger problem is that of an epidemic now. Authorities are conducting mass cremations to dispose of dead bodies. With Nepal declaring a state of emergency, India has deployed 13 military aircrafts and has also sent medical teams, medicines, blankets and water in this hour of need.
देखिए, कल प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बैठक ली थी और उसमें बहुत सारे फैसले हम लोगों ने किए हैं ताकि नेपाल को अधिकतम सहायता हम लोग उपलब्ध करा सकें और यह सिलसिला प्रारंभ हो गया है। पहले दिन से ही भारत ने इसमें पहल की है और वहां पर कोऑर्डिनेशन के लिए भी टीम पहुंच चुकी है और अन्य क्या क्या सुविधाएं और भेजी जा सकती हैं, इसके संबंध में भी हम लोगों ने फैसला किया है। नेपाल हमारा पड़ोसी देश है, उसके साथ हमारे सांस्कृतिक रिश्ते भी हैं, इसलिए हम नेपाल को इस नजरिए से देखते हैं, इसलिए भरपूर अपनी तरफ से कोशिश हो रही है।
भारत में भी काफी तबाही हुई।
हाँ, सभी मुख्यमंत्रियों से बात भी हुई है। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी सभी मुख्यमंत्रियों से बातचीत की है और जो भी सहायता यहाँ भी आवश्यकता है वो किया जा रहा है।
Well, the devastating earthquake in Nepal has destroyed or badly damaged many temples both in the Kathmandu Valley and elsewhere. Now, these include one of Nepal's iconic temples, the Kathmandu Temple, which inspired the name of Kathmandu, and it's a 16th century wooden monument, and now this important chapter in Kathmandu's history has been lost forever.
दरबार चौक और हनुमान ढोका की गलियों और रास्तों से गुजरते हुए हम उस जगह पहुंचे हैं, उस काष्ठ मंडप के अवशेष तक जिसके नाम पे इस शहर का नाम पड़ा काठमांडू। वो काष्ठ मंडप एक ही विशाल वटवृक्ष पेड़ की लकड़ी से बना हुआ ये मंडप था जिसकी अब सिर्फ यादें रह गई हैं, यानी पूरी तरह जमींदोज हो चुका है। सिर्फ वो लखौरी ईंटें बताती हैं कि मंदिर कितना पुराना था। और अब ये कि टीला इसी तरह पुराने ज़माने में जब भूकंप आते थे और टीले जब इमारतें ढह जाती थी तो वो टीले डीह की तरह दिखाई पड़ते थे। लेकिन यहाँ के बारे में कहते हैं कि जिस समय भूकंप आया उस समय भी यहाँ काफ़ी लोग थे और यहाँ से लगभग ये कितने शव यहाँ से निकाले जा चुके हैं
अभी तक तो
17 बॉडी निकाले, 17 शव यहाँ से अब तक निकाले जा चुके हैं। और अभी भी आशंका है कि इस पूरे इलाके में, क्योंकि शनिवार का दिन था, छुट्टी का दिन था, लोग उस समय अपनी श्रद्धा से इन मंदिरों में आते थे और ये वो काष्ठ मंडप पे यहाँ ब्लड डोनेशन का कार्यक्रम था, लोग यहाँ रक्तदान करने आए थे, लेकिन अपना खून बहाया लोगों ने और अचानक भूकंप आने से। और ये पीतल का दीप है जिसमें दिए जलते रहे होंगे उस समय, और ये मंदिर का घंटा और गणपति की प्रतिमा यहाँ पर इस मलबे से निकाली गई है। आपका नाम क्या है?
संत कुमार श्रेष्ठ।
तो संत जी यहाँ पर कितने बॉडी अभी तक निकाल चुके हैं? 31 शव निकाले जा चुके हैं अब तक, लेकिन 3 आदमी जीवित निकले हैं। अभी भी राहत और बचाव का कार्य चल रहा है और इसमें से उम्मीद है कि कुछ लोगों को और जिंदा बचाया जा सकता है। स्नेफर डॉग्स की मदद ली गई है, लेकिन काठमांडू की पहचान, काठमांडू की शान, जिसके नाम से काठमांडू का नाम, जहां से शुरू हुआ काष्ठ मंडप, वो जगह, उसकी हालत अभी ऐसी दिखाई पड़ती है।
And while Kasht Mandap lies in ruins, miraculously the main foyer of the Pashupatinath temple remains intact. Atir Khan gets us this report.
So Pashupatinath temple is the Pashupati Ghat where last rites are performed, and today this extraordinary people who have come here to perform the last rites. There are heart-touching scenes out here. As far as the eye can see, last rites are being carried out. Relatives have come here with the bodies of those who have died in this tragedy, this major tragedy. And more than 2,700 persons have died, and more than 6,000 people are injured, and they're recuperating at the hospitals, and they're braving shortage of medicines, doctors and other services. So clearly this is a major tragedy which has struck not just in Nepal but even the adjoining region in India, and the entire region is under its influence. With camera person Vinod, Atir Khan in Kathmandu for Headlines Today.
You're rolling.
Well, and for those who survived the deadly earthquake, it's an unending nightmare. It's a heart-wrenching story now of a father who could do nothing despite hearing pleas of help from his own daughter trapped under the debris. Her screams for help stopped eventually, and he now believes that she's perhaps dead. Manogya Loiwal brings us face to face with the tragedy that is unfolding in Nepal.
कल तक आवाज आ रही थी?
हाँ, कल तक शाम तक आ रहा था, सुबह तक। अभी तो वो हो गया, और कैसे निकलेगा ये हमको मालूम नहीं। जिंदा तो नहीं होगा, मरा हुआ है तो अपना बेटा बच्चा तो चाहिए हमको।
Yes, they are still waiting, hoping against hope. These parents last heard their daughter scream from the debris and continued to hope for her life until she got quite suddenly.
हम बाहर गया था, बीवी को लेके हॉस्पिटल में, बेटा बेटी को दुकान पे छोड़ के गया, वापस आ गया तो ऐसे हो गया। अभी तक नहीं निकला, निकालने के लिए कैसे निकलेगा, सबसे नीचे, और कैसे निकालेगा उसको, कैसे पहुंचेगा मालूम ही नहीं है।
कल तक आवाज आ रही थी?
हाँ, कल तक शाम तक आ रहा था, सुबह तक। अभी तो वो हो गया, और कैसे निकलेगा ये हमको मालूम नहीं। जिंदा तो नहीं होगा, मरा हुआ है तो अपना बेटा बच्चा तो चाहिए हमको, वो कोई नहीं।
And the mother is beyond control, beyond condolences and completely shattered. These helpless parents could do nothing despite hearing heart-wrenching shrieks of their daughter. And like them, many others are desperately looking for their children in this hour of catastrophe.
It took several years in making a home and several years in making a sweet shop. But the bitterness that has been left behind with this earthquake will remain lifelong in the family of these people. Perhaps the most difficult part for them would be seeing the dead bodies of their own children with their own eyes and carrying it on their shoulders for the last rites. With camera person Tapas Berry, this is Manogya Loiwal in Kathmandu for Headlines Today.
And our correspondent Atir Khan is also in Kathmandu. He sent us this report. Let's take a look.
Roll.
People are continuously coming here for prayers at famous Pashupatinath temple here to seek forgiveness for prayers, and this is the famous World Heritage Site and a very famous icon Pashupatinath temple here at Kathmandu, where you can see that people are continuously coming in. It's been a major disaster. There's fear that there could be more tremors. People are coming here for prayers, and people are really very disturbed, since they are unable to sleep. They're out on streets all night. They are not going to their offices. They're not going to their shops. All the businesses have been badly affected. So clearly people are seeking forgiveness here at the Pashupatinath temple, which is also a very famous place, a tourist spot, and also a place where a number of Bollywood and Hollywood films have been shot. But at the moment the people are coming here for prayers. With camera person Vinod, Atir Khan in Kathmandu for Headlines Today.
Destruction, death and damage. a visual evidence of nature's wrath everywhere. An earthquake leaving a trail of destruction behind. But this iconic Pashupatinath temple has survived nature's fury. With very little damage, the holy shrine has also become a shelter for many at this testing time.
If you have ever had belief in the supernatural power, this is one of the stories to believe in. Perhaps the temple of Pashupatinath in Nepal, in Kathmandu, has not suffered a single damage as far as the main deity idol is concerned and as far as the temple is concerned. However, just 50 meters away from the temple, there has been a huge damage to the building, there has been a lot of damage to the premises, but besides that, there has been no damage to the main temple, that is the Garbhagriha of the temple, which is perhaps the most important area where the idol is kept. But talking to the people on what do they feel about it and how much faith do they have, because most of them have gathered in here not to visit or worship the deity, but to sit and feel safe in this zone. क्या कारण है, आप क्या क्यों आए हैं यहाँ पर?
हमें यहाँ पूरी सेफ्टी लगती है भगवान पशुपतिनाथ मंदिर में आके नेचुरली हमें थोड़ा सा दिल को सुकून भी मिलता है। मंदिर के अंदर बहुत ही हमें अच्छा लगा और बाहर जितना भी डैमेज हुआ है पर मंदिर को कुछ भी नहीं हुआ। अंदर हम दोबारा अभी देख के आए हैं, बिल्कुल ठीक हैं, सभी दीवारें, सभी मूर्तियां, सब बिल्कुल ठीक है।
खुद को भी सुरक्षित पाते हैं आप?
बिल्कुल सुरक्षित पाते हैं मंदिर में।
Perhaps a system of belief and the feeling of feeling safe is most important when it comes to these aftershocks that have been revisiting the horror as far as Kathmandu and Nepal is concerned. There have been complete aftershocks for Nepal's last 24 hours and that has kept them tensed. Most of them have been sitting here for several hours and have been waiting to return to their homes. Only the faith and the belief in the supernatural power has kept them going. With camera person Tapas Berry, this is Manogya Loiwal in Kathmandu for Headlines Today.
Now, as Nepal tries to recover from the massive earthquake that left thousands homeless with no food and water, there is no relief as yet for this man who is still looking for his family. Sher Bahadur's son and daughter-in-law have been missing for 3 days now. He is part of the rescue team and is rigorously searching for his family members with the Nepal Army's rescue team.
अब अपना बेटा बहू को ढूंढ रही हूँ, अब किसको तो ये तलाश कर रहा हूँ, अपने बेटे को, बहू को।
क्या इसके भीतर दबे होने की उम्मीद?
वो आशंका वही है, इसके अंदर ही होगा।
And as relief operations continue in full swing, Headlines Today's Jugal Purohit got us this report from Lamjung, the epicenter of Saturday's earthquake. This is the first aerial sortie over the epicenter.
We are flying over the Gorkha district of Nepal, the very area where from the earth shook, the epicenter of this earthquake, 7.9 on the Richter scale, just merely 2 kilometers beneath the surface of the earth. As we are flying about this area, let me tell you, we are seeing extremely isolated villages surrounded by thick vegetation, of course the mountains, and what we are also witnessing here are villages completely devastated, destroyed, and in a sense rubbed off the map of Nepal. What's happening right now is that the Indian Army, the Indian Air Force, and of course the Nepalese authorities are making their first preliminary assessment of the damage at the epicenter. Till now we've only seen Kathmandu and other urban areas, but this is where the damage lies and this is where the maximum damage is there. This assessment which is being made with the aim that this will give the authorities the first most detailed and wide analysis so that they can plan their further steps.
Rahul Kawal spoke with the IAF PRO for an update on the rescue and relief operations.
We are joined now by the Air Force PRO Wing Commander SS Birdi, the man who's responsible for organizing this rescue operation. Sir, lots of people over here very concerned about what's going on. Why don't you give our viewers a sense of what the Air Force is doing?
what the Air Force is doing is primarily we are helping the Nepalese army and the Nepalese government in carrying out all the rescue and relief operations. So we have our own helicopters over here. And
so how many helicopters do we have?
We have 6 helicopters at the moment.
And where do you intend to take these helicopters?
The helicopters are operating from the airport, and we are going to various places. So the Nepalese army people, they tell us that so and so place is where some rescue or relief operation is required. So they are helping our pilots. They're going along with us in our aeroplanes and showing us the places, because our people are not familiar with the terrain.
So what about all the thousands of people who are here at the Kathmandu airport waiting for a flight back today?
Yeah, so Air Force, we are putting in the aircraft as and when we are getting the requirements from the Ministry of Defence, which is coming to us through the from the MEA. So it is coming to us through.
So how many sorties will the Air Force fly today?
We are continuously flying based on the requirements being projected to us.
Do you have a number for how many flights you'll have today? Because there are lots of people that are wondering.
There are lots of people, but yes, we are doing whatever. This is a very dynamically changing situation, you know. So the MOD.
How many people has the Air Force been able to evacuate so far?
We have evacuated a fairly large number of people, though the exact figures I don't have at the moment, because we are still not, the communications are still not in place.
And what's your priority for today, sir?
The priority for today is basically we are, the ministry, the embassy people, they are telling us, they are the ones who are prioritizing. So whatever the embassy prioritizes, we take those people.
Now, as India intensifies its rescue operations in Nepal, 1,935 stranded Indians have been rescued from the earthquake-hit place so far. And another C-17 of Indian Air Force arrived early this morning in Delhi from Kathmandu with 291 passengers on board. The Rapid Action Medical Team of the Indian Air Force has set up relief camps in order to facilitate medical assistance to victims. The Rapid Action Medical Team is ready with their medicines and equipment to set up first aid center in Lamjung, that is about 8 kilometers from the airport in Kathmandu, and 3 doctors and 25 paramedics will man the center. Also, 14 civilian flights will operate today from Kathmandu to Delhi to evacuate those stuck in Nepal. The government will also be plying special buses from Pokhara to Raxaul and Kathmandu to Gorakhpur as a part of their rescue mission.